PMO, education. That will make the work of the committee simpler now, because we are going to work with the sectors now. All the heads of departments, accounting officers will present credible proposals from your individuals, because we cannot train from every sector 5-7 people knowing how expensive training is right now. So it has to be done properly, and we'll definitely work on the RAM. We are looking forward to getting the cabinet approval for Your Excellency. And I also want to tell you that the Commonwealth is standing by to help us do the printing and the sensitization for us in country.
Okay, remember we spoke about training, and then in some instances, some sectors sent the head, the deputy, and the third person all to go for training. When you do that, you take, like if you take the permanent secretary, the DPS, and the PAS, prioritize it. When you prioritize it, sit as a team. Those people under you, tell them, well, this is the opportunity we have. But it's a revolving opportunity. You go, come back, somebody goes. Also, I think the bonding system, we'll have to use the GNPC bonding system, which is the best. This one, I drafted it and made sure that it is implemented. Where if you fail to turn up, there is a penalty for whoever guarantees you. Because as it is now, very rarely would the PSC take people to take legal action against people. You have seen where somebody goes for a 4-year bachelor's course, finishes the course, decides to proceed to master's without approval. I say, I've already gotten this chance and I don't know when I'm going to get another chance. That is no excuse. Even if you do perfectly well, come back and apply. And it doesn't also automatically mean that we are going to approve because you did very well. Because you also have others that do not even have even a diploma, and they are as good or even better than you. But if we have to think of ourselves only, that is unacceptable. But people have gotten away with it. It was a case of somebody that was here when I directed the PSC to take legal action against the guy. I sponsored the person. He went for a degree course and decided, for some strange reason, he was supposed to come 6 months before the election and decided not to come. Maybe he thought I was going to lose the election. Then, after he decided to enroll in a master's degree program and say, cannot be, they wrote to him and he said, he's doing a master's degree program, and he applied. After enrolling for 6 months, and they have been writing to him, he refused to answer. 9 months later, he said, I'm doing a master's, it was a master's degree program. And then decided to stay for another 3-4 years. Then the guy, the authorities realized that he overstayed and they were about to deport him. So it was a choice of rushing home. And then he comes and writes a long letter to me telling me the wonderful work I've been doing, and thought that he could fool me. But I think we have to be very strict about this, and I think the only bonding system that I can tell you would work is the GNPC bonding system. So go ahead.
Your Excellency, that will very soon be a thing of the past, because as we are now, we are taking title deeds now from trainees. Yes, we are also doing that now. Because the gentleman you're talking about, if he had deposited the title deed, I'm sure it will be a different story altogether. And also, essentially, it's PMO who is in court, not PSC, sir. Yeah. So we will continue to do that, because training is very expensive, and we have to manage it. As he had said, it's important that we do it that way, and to ensure that we don't just send in the bunch at one time, because job two must not suffer. So we'll continue to manage the training properly. We are eagerly awaiting the training policy, sir. I'm
aware that the training policy is at the level of cabinet, but at the previous meetings they had raised some issues with the paper, and until the last one, those issues were not submitted. So that is why it could not be concluded.
The GNPC bonding thing, I can share it with you. We use it at Mohas, quite a while.
Your Excellency, Mr. President, thanks for your elaborate message, which is clear. It seems to my humble self that you are not happy with Royal Victoria Teaching Hospital, and I joined this hospital and University of the Gabriel School of Medicine 3 years ago, January 2010. There are two issues, sir, if you allow me to talk, in spite of the fact that I am acting or standing in for the substantive Chief Medical Director. The two issues I think the Royal Victoria Teaching Hospital is dealing with three main functions, sir. The major function, three are major functions, is the healthcare delivery. It's a referral hospital, and it is the only teaching hospital in this great country, exactly like the UTG. And number two, it is the training centers, teaching and training of the medical doctors. So far, to date, we graduated 85 medical doctors. All of them are Gambian and non-Gambian. Most of them from West African countries, and some of them from United States. We got one doctor from United States. So it acquired an international status, which is very, very good. And the training not only doctors, we train our nurses, we train paramedicals in pharmacy, X-rays, and all. Yes, sir.
Explain to you.
Yes, sir.
I don't think you got my point. It's not maybe one thing you are not aware of is the behavior of nurses towards patients that I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the hospital as it is. I'm talking about the behavior of people that are supposed to deliver, to take care of patients. So it has nothing to do with the senior management of the hospital, but the attitude of the nurses towards patients, and to some, most of it is based on the attitude of junior staff towards patients. You have an emergency there, you come, and some people are playing cards. Or you go to a ward, every ward there are nurses that stay overnight. And then you have somebody who maybe with a serious problem that requires the presence of the nurse every maybe 5-10 minutes. And then they sit down, the patient will be struggling and say, hey, I think this patient is becoming too much. That's what I'm talking about. So it's not the official role of the hospital that is being queried. It's the attitude of some of the staff that is the reason why, in fact, it was brought under my office, because we think that not proper cleaning is done. Where you have nurses, instead of taking care of patients, they are being rude to patients. You have an emergency, you go there, you don't see anybody to attend. You go to the outpatient, you don't see anybody responsible that would take care of. And then you go, you see patients, emergency, and the emergency outpatient, accident and emergency. You go there, you find people, patients in critical condition, lying on the floor or on a bench. Where's the doctor on call? It's nowhere to be seen. There is not even a nurse. This is what I'm talking about. So it's not a question of what you do as an institution. No, it's the behavior of the people that I'm talking about. I want that to be very clear.
It's clear, sir, and I totally agree with you. We have seen all these lapses, and we promise we are going to step in and correct. Two issues, sir, I want to just to make a little comment on it, if I'm allowed. The autonomy of Royal Victoria Teaching Hospital and the revisit of the fees of the hospital, particularly in these circumstances, sir, because the fees of the hospital since the inception is the same.
What I'm saying is, obviously we cannot just move from $5 to $20. That's practically not possible, because it will be too much. But what is more important, and that's the reason why the hospital is directly under this office, is for us to get you the equipment that you need to be able to make sure that the equipment